So that's foundation. Now we need to think about the second half, which is yours. So Y is for you. Yes, you. And I have divided you into two different categories. One is for you whilst at work, and the other is for you outside work. All right. So, you whilst at work, I need you to keep hydrated. A lot of us don't always get that opportunity. We don't always think to stop, to think, to look after ourselves. So I need you to stay hydrated. I need you to think about your breaks as well, okay? Actually take your breaks. You're entitled to them. I need you to get the break. It's good from a perspective of looking after yourself, but in terms of also really good in terms of resetting and being focused enough to go through the rest of the day or night shift actually. Then there is you, as in you being able to actually go to the toilet. Yes, to do number one or number two. We need to have this real discussion here. A lot of people tend to hold it in all the time. Not great. So yes, allow yourself that time within work to go and do number one and number two. It's that important for us to have that discussion. Quite a few colleagues have had things like kidney stones and things. Really, it's not to scare you, but I think really we need to take that time out to just look after ourselves really whilst we're at work. And then you still at work is you being able to practice within your competency areas. Okay, make sure you know what you're competent at, but also as part of fitness to practice is knowing what you're not competent at. And if it's something you need to know at your level, then you need to think of ways to engage and learn to be able to achieve all of those together. Okay, then we come to you outside work. In reality, some days will be great, some days won't be as great. I'm just being blunt. So I need you to think about what it is outside work that you can use to help refocus, to unwind as well, because it can be quite a stressful role. So what is it that you can use to unwind outside work? Have you got hobbies? What are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? Fun fact, well, it's fun to me. I love doing my DIYs. I enjoy DIYs. But for me, that helps me unwind. And people are like, but you? I'm like, yes, I do. That helps. I mean, that's amongst a lot of other things, dancing and quite a lot of other things, really, that I enjoy outside work. In reality, especially in the first 2 years, you need to be disciplined enough to still be able to do all these things outside work, because you can get really tired and just can't be bothered to go out again to go for that dance class or something. So you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional to make sure you have something else or other things that you're able to use to unwind outside work. And that brings me on to holidays. Hello. Please enjoy your holidays. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it is valuable enough. It's something to look forward to. So typically, I think the way I worked it out was most of my night shifts then led on to, this long annual leave I had, and it was always something to look forward to. So think of how it works best for you, but book your holidays. And that takes us to what I said earlier about being organized. In terms of being organized, your annual leaves, you want to be booking that much in advance. You need to just keep on top of all of this, but still look after you. So enjoy those holidays. And you know what? I will be putting on some of my holiday adventures on here just to inspire you with ideas as to where you could go if you're not sure where you could go. That's also going to be something that would come up, because the truth is we all need breaks, and you don't have to go outside the country. You can have amazing holidays, even just staying at home, but just doing interesting things that you've always wanted to do, or just even sleeping. That's important too. So yeah, you need to look after you at work and outside work, but you need to be intentional to make it work well for you. Next one is E. And with E, I'm thinking about engage with the system, engage with opportunities, and enjoy the process. And what I mean by that really is the NHS is an amazing place. It's got a lot of flaws, but in embracing, in engaging with the system, you're able to see with your fresh pair of eyes. I'm passionate about quality improvement projects. So yes, that's where I'm going to with this. You're able to see with a fresh pair of eyes, things that need to get better, things that need to be improved within the system, and you're able to hopefully make that change happen, no matter how little it might seam. It would actually make a difference in the long run. So I want you to actually engage with the system. There are a lot of people that sit out, complain from afar. I have no problem. You can complain. That is fine. But personally, as you're complaining, please offer the solution. And if you're not the one that can bring about the change or start something towards the change, please signpost me to someone that can bring about that change, and let's have that productive sort of discussion. Okay? So don't just fall into that habit of complaining. Get into the habit of, okay, it's okay to vent, complain, it's fine, but what is the solution? What can I do about it? Or who can I speak to about it that can hopefully institute change? And that all of that will be quality improvement within the system. And actually, the future of the NHS, to an extent, is reliant on the quality improvement changes people are making, the projects people are doing, building on a day-to-day basis. So instead of sitting down to complain, why not embrace the system, engage with the system, and be that change? Or if you can't be the change, be the one to lead the change, be the one to initiate the change. Okay? Great. A is taking us back to apps. And the reason I'm giving this a whole topic in itself, really, yes, I know I've made another link to that, but I think 3 key ones. I'm not going to talk about the one I've designed, but 3 key ones I'm also going to mention, really. But the other 12, you can watch it on the video. Induction app. Okay, induction app will be useful for getting numbers for different departments within your hospital, and also in terms of being able to actually call them directly without having to wait to go through a switchboard and then getting through. So induction app is one. The next one is micro guide. Okay, so micro guide is essentially, as the first part of the name implies, about microbes. So it's essentially an antibiotic guide, really. Now, what you'd find is antibiotic guidelines vary from hospital to hospital. Okay, and each hospital has its own guidance, as it were, which has been produced with the local population response in mind, as in how they responded to that medication in that area. It's one that is specific to that area. So for some of you that might work in different hospitals, don't just assume it's the same, they've got the same first lines. So with microguide, which is free to download, you get to put in once you've registered, then you put in detail about the hospital you want to get connected to, which is one you're working at. And then it tells you have access to what specific antibiotics they would use in whatever case you're looking at, whether it's your sepsis, whether it's cellulitis. What is their first line there, really? Every hospital, and this reminds me, every hospital has its own policies and guidelines. So you want to find out, once you get started working in that hospital, one of the first things in your first week, really, as far as I'm concerned, is to check, how can I get access to this hospital's policies or guidelines? It's usually on the intranet, but you need to find out how to access it yourself, and you can use it to check a number of things specific to that hospital, not just antibiotics, but in terms of what their policy is in managing different conditions as well. And it's okay to check. No one will think less of you. If anything, if you're able to refer to the fact that, oh, you check the policy for this, that, I would even trust that, okay, you have that in mind and you've put that effort. So actually it reflects positively on your side. So don't be afraid to do that. And that takes us nicely into the second to last point on reflection. R is for reflecting. Reflective practice is important. Okay, and in reflection, sometimes you need to apologize to patients, and this is where we're thinking about duty of candor. In reflecting, you need to see, have you done things, ethically correct in the right way? When we're thinking about the 4 pillars really of medical ethics, what does it actually fit into? Without getting too theoretical, you need to get good at reflecting, and that's the way you get the most out of the situation. You put yourself out of the situation, see what else you could have done, and in reflecting as well is taking on advice from amazing people. And for me, I think my main advice came in at the end of my first month as a doctor. And this registrar, she is amazing, and she knows how much I cherished that moment. She just got me to sit down. Yes, we spoke, and then she just inspired me really to be the best I could be. I needed that positive talk, because it just seemed like I was in that cloud of, oh, am I good enough? I remember how I said it wasn't until the 6th month I thought, okay, I felt okay to call myself a doctor. So at the end of the first month, she's like, well, you are good, for you to be where you are, I need you to confidently speak up, I need you to da. And we had a real heart to heart. And the truth is, in reflecting, sometimes you might not be able to do it on your own initially. You might need to do it with people, in terms of taking on feedback as well. But I'm so grateful. I think that has redefined how I just chose to shrug off any thoughts and just pick myself up and boom. I've had a beautiful career. I can't deny that, and I'm grateful for that. And if anything, I'm looking forward to even more opportunities, more challenges that I'll be able to provide solutions to. I'm grateful for the career I've had so far, and I'm looking forward to much more amazing opportunities that are coming, hopefully. And S, I put S as smile. It doesn't hurt. Okay, it is okay to smile. Don't think, oh, I need to be a doctor, so I don't smile, I don't show any emotions. No, nah. Be human, smile, be relatable, be kind. There's a whole campaign around civility saves lives. Be kind, be polite, be you, be authentic. This is something people will hopefully be able to relate to, and you hopefully get more out of the whole experience, whether it's with your patients, because they can relate to you. I'm not saying smile through the whole consultation if it's not appropriate, no, but just be warm and welcoming. Patients can read off that. And even when we're talking about the dynamics with the team members, you want to be approachable, so there are a number of things you want to think about really, and the way you communicate with them as well. You need to also think about that. So I hope this has been useful. I've tried to condense all of this into this acronym, foundation years. Okay, I've tried to reflect on my practice, and I think these are some of the key tips I would give anyone just starting out within the NHS, regardless of the stage you're starting out. You can do it. You're amazing. You've come this far. Don't give up. Be brave. Smile. Be that change you want to see. Be that positive doctor you want to see around. Be the one to initiate change that's hopefully going to leave legacies within your career. All right, feel free to drop in the comment box what you thought about this, and also any other tips or any questions you've got, and I will be looking forward to reading them and hopefully answering them. Take care now. Thanks for joining us today. Bye.